This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stiefel Financial.
Good evening. My name is Lynn Forbes, your host for tonight's edition of Nevada County Now. For months, nonprofit agencies and food groups across America have been assessing the impact of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Now that it has become law, these organizations have begun to feel the real impact of this legislation. One such program is the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, or SNAP. SNAP provides monthly benefits on an electronic benefits transfer card that can be used to buy groceries at authorized dealers, retailers like supermarkets, farmers markets, and some online stores. Key provisions of the bill that impact SNAP include $200 to $300 billion in cuts over the next decade, making it the largest reduction in SNAP funding. Another program at risk of cuts is SNAP-Ed. It is a federally funded nutrition education and obesity prevention program for people who are either eligible for or are receiving SNAP benefits. SNAP-Ed helps low-income individuals and families make healthy food choices, stretch food dollars, develop cooking and meal prep skills, incorporate physical activity into daily life, and understand how food and health are connected. The law introduces sweeping changes to federal food assistance programs, including CalFresh, California's version of SNAP. Additionally, lawful permanent residents face a 5-year waiting period before qualifying unless they meet certain exceptions. For example, children under 18 are automatically exempted from the restrictions, and those who are receiving disability benefits are also exempt from the waiting period. Also exempt are veterans, active duty military, and their families. In addition, there are new work requirements that will determine CalFresh eligibility. Those who don't meet the new 80 hours per month work rule will be limited to 3 months of benefits in a 3-year period. At the state level, about 5.5 million CalFresh recipients will be affected. Roughly 735,000 Californians are estimated to lose benefits entirely. Another 3.1 million families may stay enrolled, but will see reduced benefits. A UCLA study highlights that the impact will be disproportionately large on the Latino community since it comprises 55% of CalFresh recipients. Other food-related assistance programs that are impacted by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, such as the Medicaid program Meals on Wheels, will also impact many older adults. With fewer people able to access SNAP or Medicaid-funded meal waivers, the burden falls on community-based nonprofits such as Gold Country Senior Services, the local Meals on Wheels organization. Local Meals on Wheels chapters warn of longer wait lists, service cuts, and seniors left without food or social contact. Even before this law, around 1 in 3 Meals on Wheels organizations had wait lists of 4 months to 2 years. Chronic hunger, isolation, and deterioration in seniors' health loom without expanded support or intervention. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act eliminates or curtails important funding that directly impacts Meals on Wheels. As SNAP and Medicaid shrink, more seniors will rely on local meal delivery programs without additional resources to meet that demand. Next week, we will feature an interview with Nevada County Director of Social Services, Rachel Pena, for more information about how our county will be impacted. We encourage you to tune in next Tuesday. Don't go away. We will take a short sponsor break and be right back.
Thank you to Stiefel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer a higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stiefel.com.
Close your eyes, breathe in, let go. Your body speaks in aches and tension. But with Michelle Mangini, certified massage therapist, that all fades away. With every touch, stress fades, muscles unwind, balance is restored. This is more than a massage. It's a journey back to yourself. Feel renewed. Feel whole. cmtmichelle.com.
The Congregate Meals Program in Nevada County, funded by the Older Americans Act, is part of the Senior Nutrition Program. The Older Americans Act is a federal law first enacted in 1965 to support the well-being of older adults ages 60 and older in the United States. It provides funding for a range of social services that help older adults remain healthy, independent, and connected to their communities. Congregate meal locations provide nutritious hot meals served in a group setting, often at senior centers or community gathering places that are designed for older adults. The programs meet federal nutritional guidelines, offering at least 1/3 of daily dietary requirements and supporting nutrition education, health risk screening, and sometimes counseling. These programs help reduce hunger, fight malnutrition, and combat social isolation for older adults. They also provide opportunities to connect with peers, foster community, and access nutritional resources and education. And while the One Big Beautiful bill does not directly cut congregate meal programs, cuts to programs such as CalFresh could force some seniors to seek assistance through these programs, and it might threaten their ability to meet increased demands. There are several congregate meal locations in Nevada County: Holy Episcopal Church, Gold Country Senior Services, Sierra Roots, and Grass Valley United Methodist Church are among these locations. To learn more about these programs, please find the link in today's program notes. The Food Bank of Nevada County is a nonprofit 501c3 organization established in 1986 to alleviate hunger and food insecurity in Nevada County. Founders of the organization had a dream to feed the hungry and implement services to continue the ongoing fight against hunger. Through donations from the USDA and other partner organizations and the generosity of individuals, the Food Bank of Nevada County is able to provide food directly to thousands of families and individuals in our county, and to food pantries, warming shelters, and other nonprofit organizations whose primary focus is feeding those in need. Over the last 39 years, they have built facilities that enable the collection, the storage, and the distribution of food for the growing needs of Nevada County. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we return, we will speak live to a representative from the Food Bank of Nevada County. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling out of balance? As we move through life, stress, fatigue, and tension can take their toll. But healing is closer than you think. Come experience the natural way to restore harmony and the power of energy healing. Come experience Raven Wing Reiki, where we help restore harmony to your mind, body, and spirit. It's time to realign your energy with Raven Wing Reiki. Ready to begin your journey? Visit ravenwingreiki.com and discover the healing that awaits you.
We are fortunate to have in our studio today Brett Bentley, Interim Director of the Food Bank of Nevada County. Brett brings a wealth of experience in both the private sector and nonprofit in operations, community engagement, and fundraising. And we want to welcome Brett to the studio. Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Nice to meet you as well.
So you stepped into the role of a marketing director or marketing operations in February.
Correct.
And then you became interim executive director within the last few months, I believe.
In June, yes.
Okay. So the job of marketing and communications, you knew eyes wide open walking in with the new administration that there were going to be big changes. I assume that you already,
Absolutely. When I walked into the role, I assumed that it was going to be my responsibility to bring us out into the community and to help forge new relationships and strengthen existing relationships so that we were able to weather any storms that were coming with funding cuts.
So with the board and with your coworkers and such, I'm sure you brainstormed about what could happen, what might happen, and now it's becoming more and more clear.
Absolutely.
What you're dealing
and
with.
We've been seeing it over the course of the last 4 or 5 months. We've been watching food start to diminish. We can no longer get dairy through our USDA funding or cheese. We're keeping a close eye on the proteins. Produce is starting to diminish a little bit more. So we've been keeping an eye on it. We're trying to do our best. We're holding steady right now, which is great. We're able to still leverage some grant funding for working with local farms that we had concerns was going to be cut, but didn't get cut in the end because the funding had already been distributed to the state for the next year. So we have one full year that we are able to take advantage. Exactly.
And the connection and the community, engagement between the local farms and the food programs in the county is very, very important.
Oh, it's extremely important.
Before we go into sort of the more specifics, did any of these cuts mandates surprise you?
No.
You anticipated?
We anticipated there were going to be some shifts. 4 years ago, when this administration was last in office, we did benefit from some of the tariffs and food that couldn't go out around the world. The food banks across the country were able to receive some of that, so it became a benefit. This time around, we anticipated more cuts.
Right. So, Brett, could you help our audience understand the difference between food insecurity and hunger, and what percentage of the population that you're dealing with are truly people who rely on, are hungry, and people who perhaps 1 month they can make it and the next month they can, and so that's an insecure environment. Can you
Absolutely. Food insecurity comes when in between paychecks, when all the bills have been paid before the next paycheck arrives, you just don't have enough to stretch to buy food or to provide enough food for you or your family within a really nutritionally balanced meal. Hunger is when you don't have any access to food, and hunger is such an essential right for a human. It is, you have to have food to survive. You have to have food to make rational decisions and to help you function in the world. And so food insecurity, it happens in our community quite frequently. We estimate about 30% of our community is at risk
30%
of being food insecure.
Of 100,000 people?
Mm-hmm.
That's a high number.
It is a very high number.
Is that typical for a rural community?
Mm-hmm. It is actually more so in a rural community.
Yes.
The cities also have their issues, but in a rural community, we cover every corner. We go out and we meet the need where it's at. So we have distributions in North San Juan where we see people come from every corner. We have distribution in South County, in the town of Washington. We bring food up to Truckee. There is a huge need in this community, and every one of our distributions are meeting that need, but we're seeing an increase year over year.
It's interesting because when you think of hunger, you think of children right away. It's the first population you think, and of course that's essential and very, very important. But there are many, and seniors in our area, seniors who need to pay PG&E before they buy food for themselves, and as all those other costs increase, it impacts their ability to buy food. I'm assuming that's sort of like the domino effect. But there are also other populations that are food insecure. I would imagine mentally ill people.
Absolutely.
Other populations like that.
That make it difficult because they need food to help them, like I said, think rationally and make smart choices in life. We did a survey in 2024 where we found that 80% of the people that we serve actually have jobs or receive
80%.
Some type of Social Security or pension.
Right.
80%. But that's still not enough to make ends meet with the rising costs of rent, mortgages, bills, like everything going up. They cannot make ends meet with what it is. So 38% of the households we serve have children under the age of 18.
Right.
50% are over the age of 60.
Yeah. Wow. These are heartbreaking numbers, aren't they?
They are.
I'm sure you see the best and the worst every single day of our community. So what is your plan? What are your thoughts going forward? I mean, how do you meet these demands as the resources shrink?
We are reaching out. We stepping into this role has started a new era for the food bank. We're really looking at launching ourselves that much more so to work with community partnerships. The only way we're going to make this work is if we focus on our community. We have such a unique and wonderful community here in Nevada County. People work together, and it exceeds any of the politics or social, economic issues that are out there. We are able to come together as a community, and that is our hope, is that we're able to strengthen our alliances with other organizations to work together to meet the need. We are working on keeping an eye on the resources. Just last week, we said goodbye to a longtime food pantry down in Penn Valley that served over 100 people a week. And so we're working with...
Meaning you had to shut it down?
We didn't shut it down. The woman who was organizing it through the Seventh-day Adventist Church down there decided that it was time for her to be done.
Oh.
And there was nobody new to step in.
I
So
see.
we're looking at that. When we got word that that was coming, we immediately started talking to other community groups, seeing what we can do. If we can add a distribution down there, this is something that's high on our radar because we know that we can't do this alone. We are one of the largest organizations to distribute food to those in need, but we have other partners that we really need. Interfaith Food Ministry does a great job.
Yes.
We complement each other in what we do, and we need to work better together to make sure that we are meeting the need. And I don't think we truly understand how big the need is here. That's one of the first things that we want to do is assess what is the need here and what can we do with a whole coalition of community groups attacking this issue and looking at it to make sure that we meet that need.
Yes, super important to have the data, in order to respond appropriately. What about programs that happen through Nevada County agencies such as the library and other agencies within Nevada County? How are they? Do you know? We'll have Rachel Pena on next week, who's Director of Social Services, so she'll dig in on this. But are you in communication with these other programs as well?
We are. We've been meeting with the CalFresh department to make sure that we're staying abreast of what's happening with them and what they anticipate for cuts. Thursday, I get to meet with the county CEO, Allison Lehman, for the first time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do to be partners in this fight together as opposed to doing our individual efforts.
In the meantime, the individual community, would needs to step up
Yes.
and help. Donations, of course.
Donations
can't happen outside of Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Absolutely.
Very important. I want to add a little personal note that I learned in other nonprofit work that the automatic payment method of donation is super important because then the organization knows that it can rely on your $50 a month,
Yes.
as opposed to these big gaps and these big.
It makes a huge difference,
Yeah.
and that is something that we are starting to look more closely at. Is launching a revised fund development program to really get out and let people know. If you want to know more about the food bank, one of the things we do is we realize not enough people know who we are and what we do. So on the first Thursday of every month, we have a program called Food for Thought. It's a 1 hour, come in, sit down, get a nice presentation, understand who we are, and then get a tour. We have 7,500 square feet of warehouse space that we use to hold all the food that we receive. And even that we're pushing the confines of. But it's great for people to come see that we have 5 vehicles that we use to transport food to and from and all across the community. It's a great way to come learn more about us and see what we do. And obviously donations make a huge difference, and you can get that on our website. We have an option to give monthly. It's really easy.
Yeah, my husband and I are donors for sure, and it's very important to keep those main numbers in front when you understand that 30% of our community are food insecure, and depending on programs like yours.
Absolutely.
So thank you for your work.
Thank you.
We will definitely continue watching this story. We'd love to have you back.
I appreciate that. I would love to come back.
And we'll have links in the show notes for people to reach out to you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
I
It's been a
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Well, folks, thank you for watching this edition of Nevada County Now. If you would like to help contribute or write stories, appear on a show, or even become a host, please check out the details on our website at nevadacountymedia.org/NCN and let people know that we're here. We're trying to spread the word about this program. And this program is local news and information brought to you by locals. And remember to stay safe, take care of each other, and get out there and explore all this community has to offer. Good night.